Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Larry Duncan Allen, and thank you for tuning in to No More Water. Bye. Next time. I have a topic tonight. It's called If They're Deporting White Folks, what do we have coming? What about us? And I say that because they deported this, I can't say they, but the felon in chief, he deported a white businessman. And we wonder, well, how did that happen? The way things are set up, they they don't have no structure to what they're doing. And they didn't realize that many of the projects that they have is actually hurting others more than us. They're getting caught in the cracks. But I tell you what happens is there's a one Hispanic woman, she looked white, really. They had her in jail for 30 days. She finally made it back. But one of the problems is I think they want us here to take those low paying manufacturing jobs. I normally don't like to speculate on things, but sometimes you have to. Like in this situation, there's so much going on that we're unsure about. We have to do a lot of speculations. So what they've done, they want to bring those low paying manufacturing jobs from China and other countries. And they have black people work those low level jobs. That's why they're talking all this stuff about DEI. They want us on those jobs. That's a theory of mine. I can't say if it's for sure. But like I said, I normally don't deal in speculations. But with what we're dealing with now, we can't help but to speculate. Because there's a lot going on that can't be explained. And many people say, I hear them all on the news saying that, well, according to the Constitution and the law, that's the old way. We don't have a Constitution anymore. Not for him. That's the old way. The law don't mean anything to him. Anytime the Supreme Court tells him to do something and he give them the finger, there's no rule of law for him. For you and me there is, but there's no rule of law for him. He does whatever he wants to, whenever he wants to. And keep yelling about the Constitution. What has it done? What has the Constitution done any good with him? And you know what? They are now attacking African nations. Get into another subject. They're now going at the African nations are telling them, we don't want your aid anymore. They're saying cutting off DEI, the aid program. Say those some people suffered and died, they know what to do now. They're going to take care of their own people now. We're going to quit sending our wealth to Europe and keep it ourselves. Look at in Burkina Faso. They in 3 years since Abraham Traore came into power, they're building homes, infrastructure, building their own military. You see, because the African militaries in the past was built around controlling their people, not for outside conflict, but for controlling their own people for the European powers. Because they had dictators that the European powers put in place, made them billionaires while their people suffered. But now they're no longer letting their raw material or their gold, they're processing it themselves. They're sitting at the table negotiating for themselves. And so now the they're kicking the West out. The West is becoming irrelevant. Even South Africa. They're in the BRICS now with South Korea, Russia, and China. The United States tried to get them out of there and come back to the West by giving them colonial provisions. If they had signed a contract with them, they would like be like they were a colony of the United States. They gotta give them 50% of their raw materials. They said no thank you. All of the African nations told them no thank you. But one thing I didn't like is the South African president coming up there big and in the Oval Office. They're talking to him any kind of way. He asked to come to get that 400 million. Keep your own stuff and you'll have more than 400 million. Do like the other Gambia and uh, says Uganda and Ethiopia, East Africa is there joining in now. They're talking about having the uh, uh, United African States now, similar to the United States. They're going to be United African States. They're running the colonial powers out. And let's see how Europe does in. See, they haven't been able to make it without on their own. They have to stand on somebody else's neck. Even when Europe was built after World War II, they said the United States rebuilt Europe only partially. A lot of the money came from Africa, from the European powers. They extracted wealth from Africa to help rebuild themselves. And look at Africa. Well, they're modernized now, but look how long it took. And see, I'm not working on low-level manufacturing jobs. I started GoFundMe and get out of here. I started one. And I told them only MAGA can donate. I don't want anybody else donate. I want the people who say go back to Africa. I want them donating. They can't donate, then I want it from the government. And I don't know why more of you won't do the same unless you just like staying around this mess, love the chaos. Because, a lot of people love chaos. That's why a lot of people voted for Trump. They like the chaos he brings. The news was too boring with Biden. You didn't see no clowning on the news every day that he did. With Trump, you get every news article start off with something about him, just like it did last time when he was president. Every day the news start off with some foolishness about him. And I think people grown accustomed to liking it. Even the people who say they don't like him, they've grown accustomed to liking it. Now he's not. See, he knows how to throw you a shiny object. And the same shiny object excuse me. And see, the shiny object he threw you this time, he let a black gang member out of prison. See, he knew a lot of black people took offense to what he did to the South African president. And what he does, he'll do some superficial thing. Now, out of all the black people who are in prison unlawfully, the only person he can let out is a gang member. And when he's sitting around here talking about deporting gang members, yet he's gonna let one out of prison, gonna pardon him, and many black people clapping their hands over it. See what he's doing? He think we're fools. Just like he said, black people identify with him more now because he has a mugshot. He think black people will identify with him because he let a gang member out. Like we're criminals and we identify with criminals. And many of us will fall for it. I've seen it all over Facebook and places, Instagram. Hey, I don't like everything else he did, but I like that. I don't like that. They like the fact that he let a gang member out. Those are the federal prisons, black prisoners who could have gotten out besides a gang member. Let his butt stay on in there. Let somebody more deserving get out. But we'll clap over anything. I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back. And I'm gonna come to you and talk about those evil people over in St. Louis still making fun of black people because a tornado hit over there. But they're supposed to be the superior ones. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back.
What's good, everybody? My name is Brandon Hunter, also known as OG Brando, and I am the founding formulator for the Origin of Greatness. In front of me, I have my products, the OG Hair Sheen, which is all-around great moisturizer, and then I have my hemp seed butter, which is all-around great moisturizer for the skin as well. If you have any questions about either of my products, please, you can find me at the Origin of Greatness on Instagram, the OG LLC on Facebook, and at our website at theog.net. And also be on the lookout for the OG in collab and connection with Tierra Speaks. You might just catch us, with some. We got a little collab going on. She got her thing with her self-care box, and so we got some things coming. But greatness is definitely on the way. Onward and upward.
Hi, we're here today to promote the Juneteenth Art Contest. This year we have two categories. We have the youngest, the 12th through 5th grade, the K through 5th grade. We want all the artists to submit their original art piece, whether it be sculptures, abstract, watercolor, however you want to submit it. It has to be an original art piece. And the first place prize is $186.50. We also have the second category, which would be 6th through 12th grade. Again, we want original art pieces. Submit them by June 18th. Please get your submissions in.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Go get some. I'm not used to doing like not talking by myself. I usually have a guest on with me, and I have to get used to it. I guess most of my guests won't come on. They don't like the subjects I talk about. They want to talk about the clean stuff. See, there's not a lot of clean stuff going on now. We got too much dirty stuff going on, and we have to deal with that. Can't sit here and act like everything's fine and dandy when it's not. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to know what we have to do. We have to plan a strategy or something that we're gonna do because right now, like we're just sitting around waiting to see what's gonna happen. We're not protesting. I recommend not to do it, but those who want to do it, fine. Because they're just looking for a reason to ship you off. Yeah. They're looking for a reason to ship us off. Just like they're shipping the Latinos off. Now I'm seeing more and more videos of Latinos and many people talking about black people just sitting down doing nothing. Well, you ought to know how that feel when you sat down and did nothing and voted against your own interests. See, that what we don't mind helping people. Well, yeah, I do. I know usually black people would help other people, but you did this to yourself. You call yourself hurting us and other people, because everyone I talked to who voted for Trump, even the black people, they're the ones who regret it now. We just ask them why they voted for him. They tell that they did it to hurt someone else. That's why they did it. One Latino said, "I wanted to see the liberals cry." Or the Cubans say, "I thought he was going to just deport the Mexicans." And the Puerto Ricans better be careful. They may get sent down to the prison. They are legal citizens. They vote in presidential election because they're a territory of the United States. Jamaicans, they can come back and forth. They even have a governor. But but do you think they like it? They get rid of us if they could. They want this to be a white nation. When I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be and the people who follow them. And he has some strong followers because you have farmers who keep looking down at my monitor. But stop that. He has farmers who's lost their farms and still saying they back Trump. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I still back him. Well, that's your problem. They're like he's a messiah or something. And they're very angry now. Getting back to the African states, they're very angry with the African states now. They're kicking the old colonial powers out centuries too late. They should have been done this. I mean, you let somebody them pillages your nation, take all your resources, you're gonna still do business with them. See, they were still controlling the African nations like a colonial power economically. They were still getting everything they wanted. There was nothing they was getting before that they weren't getting in the years after that they left. See, and you wonder how was they able to pull that off anyway. See, one thing about many other people, they invite people in as a friend. They think everybody's gonna be nice like them. They didn't know that who they were dealing with, a diabolical master killer who kills people in masses, who think up diabolical things like atomic weapons to kill masses of people. They didn't know they were dealing with that type of person. They invite them in, and the next thing you know, they got everything. But one thing I will say is this: all around the world, wherever a person is the majority, they rule, except with black people. What is our problem? Even here in the United States, we don't run it. We run our cities. We can run our neighborhoods politically, but others run it economically. Look at the city at East St. Louis, Illinois, all black city. The black people run it politically, but other people run it economically, which is like Africa. They come in here, make money, and leave with all of it. Go home and pay taxes where they live. And we're fine with that. Why are we fine with that? Then when a black person come in and open up a business, you don't even want to go there. Even though they're talking, we do have a problem with customer relations. But some of them people don't talk to you right. But you keep going back in there. They've jumped on some of you and whoop your butt. And you still go back in there. Now that's something wrong with some Arabs or Asians or someone, whether they can come into a black neighborhood and beat on someone, especially a woman, especially a black woman. And we continue to go there, and the people who butt they whoop will start back going there. That's something wrong with us when we put up with something like that. They wouldn't do it. And you know what? Go to those Arab stores that's in the white neighborhoods. Completely different attitude than what they have here. They don't try to go with the white women. They know they better not than white men and whoop their butts. Or either that store burned down or they'll run them out of there. That's what those white men would do. They're not gonna play with it. I gotta give white people credit. They're not gonna let you misuse them. They're not gonna put up with it. That's why I like what's going on now. It's mostly them protesting. Because they're not gonna put up with any mess. They'll tear this country up. They're not no peaceful protesters. That's for us, not them. Like I said, when they burnt down, did you notice when Black Lives Matters, when they got any more, there was more fighting going on, police stations getting burnt down, and people getting shot and all that. Even though it was a Jewish guy got shot by Kyle Rittenhouse, and the couple in St. Louis pulled a gun. But see, all that wasn't going on when it was just black people protesting. I'm not saying that we didn't appreciate their help. I'm just saying to show that white people don't put up with just anything. It was them who went up in that police station, burnt it down, and ran those cops out the back door. Black people couldn't have done that because it would have been black bodies all over those steps. They let the white people take the lead in those marches. They let them use their white privilege. And they're saying now, even now, they're admitting that if black people was out there protesting, it would be a riot. But it's a march now. But we let people, but I say that to say they don't take what we take. I tell you what, once some black people try to open up a rib joint in an Asian neighborhood, go up there and open up a rib joint and sell your barbecue. Go up there, open up in the Arab neighborhood. Open your store up there and see what happens. They're not gonna let you, or it's going to end up burnt down or something. But everybody come in our neighborhood and treat us like we're a bunch of hoes. Take our money and leave nothing. Have sex with the women. Well, you can't stop. What can you say if the women let them do it? That woman I knew, tell me she got her Arab boyfriend. She tell me where they go. I said, but he's not doing but taking you to the motel. Don't you go anywhere besides the motel? Are you just jealous? Well, how's that jealous? You want me to hit it, and I wouldn't even hit it. So how am I jealous? But what happened was one day they were leaving the motel, and she told him. Well, she told me later. Was afraid to tell me at first. She said she told him that she loved him. He threw her out the car and told her, well, I don't love you. Love ain't got nothing to do with this. And took off. She didn't see him no more. That's the way it is. But if the women fool with them, they mess with them, and ain't nothing we can do about it. Put yourself in that predicament. But still, you can go up. They won't even bring their women in the store because they think they may start liking some black man. Very few times they bring them in the store, and when they do, it don't be Arab women, they be Indian women that they bring in. But they keep their women at home. They don't want them around black people. Think they may get some jungle fever. But they come in our neighborhoods and do whatever they want to, just as they did the Africans in Africa. They went there, took all this stuff, and then many of the nations still taking it. It took one man, the president of Burkina Faso, Abraham Traore, to wake them up. And he's not playing around. Look at what he's done in just 3 years. He even went to Ghana, showed them how to deal with their gold, and they made $3 billion in 3 months. And $3 billion they wouldn't have had it had they let France do it like they've been doing. The president would have got a few scraps, and they wouldn't have gotten anything. Now Ghana's kicked them out. Uganda, and it's catching on. They need to get those old, tired leaders who have been going along with the colonial powers out and bringing these young, fresh ones who say we're not taking it anymore. Burkina Faso has building up their army, roads, building 50,000 homes, and giving the homes away to people who need them. Muammar Gaddafi, he was doing a lot of that. That's why they killed him. They tried an assassination attempt against Toure in Burkina Faso, and they believe the United States and France was behind it. And get this, Burkina Faso now has developed and have their own prototype for their own electric car. Africa is now beginning to produce cars. And Ghana produces an airliner that has a perfect flight history. But you don't hear about things like that. My point is that all around the world, what is it about this Caucasian that people just let him come in and have his way? We're the only people who will let 1/8 of the population control 96% of the wealth. Put us in bondage in our own country. You think black people could go to Europe and do that? They wouldn't put up with it. So what they don't like about China don't go for that. China is for the Chinese. They may let a few people in. There's just so many people coming into China. Japan also. And most of the Asian nations. And just so many black people can go into Europe. Black people were the only people who want to be fair to everybody. But they don't want to be fair to us. See, the thing about it, they put us religion on us and we misunderstand it. You being a Christian don't mean you let people walk all over you. You got to physically fight back too. Say, let God handle it. Yeah, He'll handle it through you. When some things you may have to depend on Him for, like the walls of Jericho. He let it fall down, but the people had to go in there and fight. He can have gold for you, and you say, well, Lord, what was my gold? I never got it. It was right there. All you had to go do is dig it up, and you wouldn't go dig it. Now it's there for somebody else to dig up. You have to be active. Can't be stagnant. One thing I don't like that they're doing in Burkina Faso. They're talking about Abraham Traore like he's some messiah and all that. Come on, he's no messiah. Leave all that alone and just take care of business. That's what got you in trouble in the first place. Take care of business. That man is no messiah. He came and he opened your eyes. He's your president, not your messiah. Don't get off into all of that. Take care of business. See, we think our religion is going to do our job for us. No. You got to do your own job. You got to take care of yourself. Just like you got to go to work and take care of yourself. Your religion don't do that. And you can pray for a job. You can pray for things. But you have to actually go and work the job. You have to work and get things done. And quit trying to apply the religion to Abraham Traore coming there, waking his people up. He's no Messiah. He's just a man who come along and say he's not going to take it anymore. So don't be applying religion to that. Practice your religion. then fight if necessary. Because I see them getting off into that again. Because they do that, when it comes time to fight, they're not gonna want to fight. They're gonna say, "We're gonna let God fight our battles." Yeah, He'll fight your battles through you. You the one got to pick up the weapon and fight. But we have to stop letting people come in and just take our stuff, and it's worldwide. It's worldwide. We let people take our stuff worldwide, but we can't take theirs. And now this so peanut head general in the United States come talking about Torre taking the money and paying for his private security. Billions of dollars for his private security. This man is still living off his sergeant's pay, his captain's pay from the army. He's not even taking a salary. And whatever they do with their gold, it's none of the United States business. What you worry, you're worried because France and you can't get it no more. It's none of your business, whatever those people do with their gold. They can take it and throw it out in the middle of the ocean if they want to. You don't have nothing to do with it. What they're angry about when he said about his security, some North Koreans is coming in helping with his security because the United States and France, they say it's the United States and France. I'm not saying this that's exactly, but they said the United States and France was behind the assassination attempt. They tried to bribe some of his guards, people in his army, to kill him. But they gave him $8 million. But what they didn't realize was the people took the $8 million and came and told about it. They told what was going on. And then they saw, and even before they told, they saw the way they was moving. So they have their own intelligence network. That's what the enemies didn't understand. They have their own intelligence network. They're not dealing with the dummy here. So what happened was it was a forward attempt. So that's why they have some people from South Korea coming in and helping with his security. And that's why the journal was speaking that, saying that he's taking the gold, paying for his security, which make him sound like a damn fool, because how you gonna take billions of dollars just for security? But they'll say anything when it comes to black people and Africans, just to try to, diminish the causes. They'll say anything, but I just don't like the fact that we continue to let others come in and just rob us blind. Economically, rob us blind. Just come in and take whatever they want. And we're satisfied, we're cool with that. But we can't go to them and get anything. Africans go up to Europe, they act like they don't even want them there. They get mistreated up in Europe. But I have to say this, Africans come to the United States and you all act arrogant with black people here. The Latinos, everyone. That's one thing you Africans have to straighten up. I know this is what I'm saying. This broadcast goes around the world. If you're listening in Africa, many of you all come here and you act arrogant with us, like you're better than us. Like everyone come here get indoctrinated and told, don't deal with the blacks. Because you all come over here and you act very arrogant with us, don't have anything to do with us. So you were part of our problem too. Now, if you want us to come over there, what we're going to do? Come over there and you do the same thing? A lot of black people would like to relocate there, but they don't want you to come over. They don't want to come over there and get mistreated also. At least here we know where we're at. We know the place. But we don't want to come over there and get mistreated in a strange land. We get mistreated here, at least we're not in a strange land. We want to come there, but many do, but they don't want to come over into a strange land and get mistreated. So you all have to straighten that up. If you don't want us there, let us know. But don't bring us over there and mistreat us. We've been when the Africans and the black people have been everybody's whipping boy for the last 600 years, and we just let them do it. They talk about the Holocaust, but they don't tell you about how King Leopold of Belgium killed 20 million Africans. I was telling the other day about how one black guy is saying, well, black people was in the slave trade, pleading white folks, trying to make white folks feel comfortable again. As I said the other night, what people who people have been through atrocities and genocide, and some of their people wasn't collaborators. That's happened with all people, not just black people. As I told you the other night, no one talks about the black people who were put to death in Germany. You know, Hitler killed some black people. No one talks about I said the other night it was close to 250,000 Jews that was in the Nazi army. It was more like 280,000 who were in the Nazi army. Helped kill Jews, helped with the Holocaust. But Jews don't act like as though the Holocaust was okay because some Jews participated. But you have these stupid black people who want to say like slavery was okay because blacks owned them slaves. All people mimic their oppressors. And when they get the opportunity, they mimic them. All people have a hand in their people suffering. We're not the only ones. We're the only ones who try to give the people who made us suffer an out because some of ours did it. Other people don't do that. They won't even mention it. I didn't even know there was Jews in the Nazi army. You can look it up yourself. So don't, I want to say to black people, stop playing crazy. Always giving these people an out. Let them plead their case. If we did something wrong, let them tell it. They don't tell us and themselves on us. We always got to be there to be their attorney, plead their case for them. And they don't say anything. They'll sit there like, well, we did it. What about it? They don't even try to explain themselves because they know they got one of us who won't come along and do it for them. I haven't seen it fail yet. Every time you get them on the ropes and they still kind of understand it, there's some black person going to come along and say something to make them feel good again. Oh, well, I guess it wasn't too bad. Because no one else is going to try to out their people like that like we do. I'm at, 49 minutes? Oh, I still got ways to go. I don't really have a time limit. I just talk to, I don't have nothing else to say. If I still have more to say, I just feel it's time to stop. I'm not used to, like I said before, I'm not used to just sitting talking by myself. I may jump to other subjects, but I do that sometimes because there's so much going on. And right now, what's going on with us now is sort of tied to Africa because many black people are speaking on getting up out of here. And I'm one of them. They want to get up out of here. So it's sort of tied to it because we don't know what's coming down. We don't know. Like I said, I was speculating about the low-paying manufacturing jobs. They may want to put us on those, but I don't know that. We don't know. Everything's sort of in limbo, you know. We don't know what's going on. And I don't like living like that. Are they going to try to find a way to throw the homegrown black people in prisons? Talking about opening Alcatraz? He's told the police. You don't have they have blanketed immunity. They took away the Bill of Rights. People will no longer be charged with hate crimes. And we may not even get a chance to vote again. That's something people not talking about. We may not get a chance to vote again. Yeah. But we sitting here playing around, happy because some gang member got out of prison. I'm not happy because he got out. I know it could have been better people. It could have been better people being could have been better people getting that break besides him. He's playing a mind game with you. He let a gang member out. And I hear many people saying, well, I don't agree with a lot of things he did, but he did a good thing this time. He didn't do nothing good. Gang member. Out of all the people he could have let out. And you're falling for it again. Since blacks will identify with a gang member. They identify with me because I got a mugshot up. I better stop this playing around with these folks. Because Trump does seem to try to do one nice thing. But look, it's for an individual. But he's taking away rights for the masses. He do something like that for an individual. And have you, oh, look at what Trump did. He's putting a shiny object in front of you. Got a gang member out. Oh, and I was going to give on this about St. Louis. Do you know there's still a bunch of people getting on social media and they're still making fun of black people because a tornado struck North St. Louis. A lot of people say it struck the coming down the north side, hit some of those millionaires' mansions up, up by Lando and Forest Park, but no one's making fun of them. It's the black people in North St. Louis they're making fun of. And see, we have to, anytime people does something to black people, why we always got to throw some white folks in it? When stuff happened to them, they don't throw us in it. When it happened to us and them, they talk about themselves. See, we always got to give them that reprieve. Just as they don't care about the black people in North St. Louis, I don't care about those mansions. You don't care about mine, and I don't care about yours. I'm not into that kind of mess around here. Well, we got to treat everybody right. No, you got to treat mine right, too. I'm about to leave you alone. Treat mine right, then I may consider start treating you right. I did say consider. See, we have to quit being so nice and kind to people who hate us and know they want our demise. They want to see us falter, and you know it. But you're still around here trying to be nice and kind to them. They're laughing at you because they show a picture of a house that the tornado hit, or it probably looked better than it did before the tornado hit. See, it probably look better now that the tornado hit it than it did before. They show where the churches are bringing food to feed the people, or they're going to be looting tonight. And there's a lot of comments like that on there. Most of them are like that from other people. Most of them are like that. And see, I'm going to tell you the truth. A lot of people say, well, there's a lot of good white people. There's a lot of good black people, but you don't see them sorting through the black people. I don't have time to sort through them. If you good, just be good. But I'm not sorting through you. You don't sort through us. You treat me right, I'm gonna treat you right. You treat me wrong, I'm gonna leave you alone. Because if I be around you too long, you treat me wrong, we're gonna have a little powwow. And to keep that from happening, I'd rather just leave you alone. I'm not gonna be mistreated. Not if I can help it. What I can't help, I don't worry about. As long as I can help it, I'm not gonna be mistreated. Can't treat me right, leave me alone. Gotta keep doing little sneaky stuff. Wanna throw me under the bus? Leave me alone. I ain't got time. I don't have time to play no more. Oh, I want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes they gave me yesterday. I really appreciate them all because you're all so nice and kind with it. And I know people don't have to be nice. They don't have to be kind. That's why when you are, I really appreciate it. I really do. That really made my day. That was better than a birthday party. All the kind wishes that you gave me on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere. Especially my family. I love my family for what they did for me and my friends. So getting back to what I was saying. So if people not gonna treat you right, leave them alone. Quit thinking that I know a lot of people would treat people good. I'm gonna let them see how good I am and then they'll act right. They already know how good you are. That's why they're acting like that. If you notice, the a-holes don't get mistreated. If you notice with men, you see the men complain about women, they're usually good, decent fellas. Pookie and Ray Ray don't complain. The women treat him right. He get all the women he want. It's Paul and Raymond who complain because he's nice and they treat him any kind of way. Same way. But see one thing about, and it's opposite with women. Women treat nice women good. Men treat nice women good. I'm talking about decent fellas. I'm not talking about the things y'all get with. Start from the bottom and work your way to the top. I'm talking about decent folks. When I say anything I'm talking about, I'm not talking about these hood folks y'all talking about. I'm talking about upper level people who will understand what I'm talking about. So I don't deal with Pookie and Ray Ray. So I don't really get off into them. I may mention them. I don't deal with hood rats or these loud masculine women. I may mention them just in the conversation, but you don't see me on Facebook complaining about women, making posts complaining about women, because I don't deal with those kind of women. I deal with higher level women who I don't have to go through a bunch of mess with. Well, I look like a man my age on Facebook complaining about a relationship with women. I may comment on some other people's posts and give some facts and data. Look like a man my age complaining about relationship. Tell me I want romance. Got time to play them little games. Romance is nothing but a game. I'm saying this to tie all this together to show that we need to stop playing and letting people play with us. And there's our people that do most of it. We let people treat us any kind of way, especially other races. And we love them and don't like love our own. I was talking to that reminds me of a woman I was talking to. It was a white guy. He was doing work for me. And we went to a church to film something. And he was with me, and I was getting some out of his truck. And he was talking to this black woman, and he's a beat up looking guy, wears the same clothes every day. And what happened was the black woman was up in his face, all up in his face, almost like she ready to kiss him, as bad as he looked. And she was a nice looking black woman. But then when I would come away from around the other side of the truck, she'll back up about 8 feet and put distance between us. I went back to the side of the truck, she got right back up in his face. I come back, she backed all the way up again. She put distance between her and the black man, all up in the white man's face. And he was what you call a lower end white man. And I'm not no lower end black man. So he didn't have to be 6 feet tall, make six figures with so many inches. See, he didn't have to be all of that. But I would have to be. But getting back to the subject, that is something I brought up. Getting back to this, I talk about a lot of stuff though. But getting back to the subject, I'm happy to see the Africans and now the black people over here have to stop letting people just take our stuff. I remember when we had businesses, the nightclubs in East St. Louis. People from all we were known as the nightclub town. Sometimes you just got to roll with what works for you. They were employing people, but there were some murders. But there was also murders at the Arab service stations. That's where most of them was occurring anyway. They leave the club, killing each other by the Arab service station, not inside the club. They come out there and investigate. When they went in the club, to the club to investigate, they closed the club down. They go to the service station, they stay open while they're investigating. And then, well, I know him well, but Senator Dick Durbin, he was going to stop certain finances coming to the city unless the clubs closed down. So the new mayor closed down the clubs, costing over 400 jobs and nothing to replace those jobs with. But the Arab service stations where the murders were occurring, they stayed open. Yep, they stayed open. And you know just one thing about anyone else, they're not going to ruin their local economy over what some of the thugs do. They have a problem with murders and different things in downtown St. Louis. They've opened up clubs there. But do you see them talking about closing things down? That money means more to them. I wouldn't close it down either for some thugs who gonna kill each other anyway. If not there, somewhere else. We can't keep on ruining ourselves over them. They want to kill each other. Most of these people, a lot of these people getting killed over here in East St. Louis where I live. I'm gonna get back to Africa in a minute, but and Trump in a minute. But I just talk about where I live. A lot of these people, not just where I live, all over. But St. Louis is known as the murder capital, number one crime city, right across the river here. A lot of those people getting killed don't have clean hands themselves. A lot of them are off into something. Or they've done something to someone. A lot of it's retribution. It's not just like an innocent person getting killed. And why should we ruin ourselves, close down our businesses for those people doing something like that? See, one thing about white folks, they're not gonna let the business and the good folks suffer because of the bad ones. They just let them keep offing each other and go on with their lives. Chinese, Latinos, any of them, they're not gonna close down their economy over some bad people. Only black people do that. I'm saying this to show. I know it may seem like I'm rambling all over the place, but if you look at it, I'm tying it together to show you how we will ruin ourselves economically where others won't. Here in Africa, all over the United States, black people all over the United States, we'll ruin ourselves economically, and others won't. No way you can make Europe give away their riches. Do you know World War II was also fought over Africa? Not just Jews and you know what it was fought over? Because I'm gonna show you. Let me show you this. Hitler and Italy were angry because the other European nation was getting all the riches from Africa, gold and platinum, and they weren't dealing with uranium then, but they are now. They were getting all those raw minerals from Africa, But Italy and Germany didn't get in on the pillage. So that's why they invaded Europe. And they would have taken Britain. They would have taken Britain if it hadn't been for the English Channel. The water is the only thing that stopped them. That's why the United States started NATO, to keep the fighting over there. They saw how the oceans divided them and kept them out of the United States, kept the fighting out of the United States, except for Pearl Harbor. And if you notice, in Africa they speak every European language. They don't speak German in Africa. They don't speak Italian in Africa. They don't speak Russian in Africa. Those nations didn't get a chance to play a big role. I can say they didn't have no kind of role, but they didn't get a chance to come and do their pillaging in Africa like the others did. Just as in Northern Africa, those light-skinned Arabs and all of them, they have no business there. Those are black countries. Stop letting them people take your wealth. Run that king out of Saudi Arabia and take your all's wealth. Egypt, that's supposed to be a black country. Not no light-skinned people. Iran, not Iran, but Iraq, Libya. Those are black countries. Run those fair-skinned light-skinned folks up out of there. Send them back to them European countries where they belong. Saudi Arabia, it's a black country. Get them up out of there. Get them light-skinned people up out of there. Time for Africans to retake Africa. Israel, Palestine, that was part of Africa to the Suez Canal. That's no little Asia Minor. And you could walk from Israel to Egypt. How is Egypt a part of Africa and Israel is not? One of them light-skinned people up out there, them not the real Jews. You can't take no contract from me, because I said that. And them not, run out of them light-skinned. I'm not talking about Israel, just Israel. I'm talking about Egypt too. Run them up out of there. Them light-skinned people don't have no business running Egypt. Saudi Arabia, Syria. Assad look like a white man standing up there. President Assad in Syria, they ran him out of there. Go and put a black man there like he's supposed to be. You all got to take your place, Africa. Run out of them like they got you all in sub-Saharan Africa. When you supposed to be all over there in the north too. Nigeria tried to help kill Abraham Traore and Burkina Faso. Y'all need to deal with them too. Are their leaders? It may not have been the people, but their leader. Y'all need to deal with him. Be sure to send them something to my Cash App. It's $ COC 618. City of Champions 618. That's what that COC is for. City of Champions, but all lowercase, just as you see it on the screen. $ COC 618. And also subscribe. Like this video because you have to put some likes on it so my algorithm can go up. That helps a lot when you like it. Subscribe and share this video over if you can. I know you can if you want to. Because we helping all these other people. We subscribe to their channels and help them and help me out. I want to say I started doing this before I stopped it, but I'm trying to grow and grow. I'll bring you local and worldwide situations. But back to our people, that's what I'm mainly on. See what's going on there. You got to retake Africa. You shouldn't have gotten to yourself to the point where you have to retake anything. Oh, am I hanging up? You shouldn't. You should have got to the point where you shouldn't have to retake anything. I hung up there for a minute. Then I may have just been my mind. Yeah, you shouldn't have to retake anything. You shouldn't have given it up in the first place. How in the world somebody come in your on your continent, in your nations, force you into poverty? They could take all your stuff. They're one fifth of the population. Why you let that many in anyway? They're not gonna let that many of you in their nations. I heard about how the Africans get mistreated in England and different places, even in the Asian countries, in the Southeast Asian countries, how they get mistreated. Now we're not gonna come to Africa to get mistreated either, cause y'all act a little silly with us sometimes when you all come over here. But look, I tied that in with even in the United States, a small if a small band of white people came to East St. Louis with some money, and they took for the new homes that they built over there by Jackie Jordan. Before you know it, those white people will be running this city. We'll let them take over everything. We'll let them take over. Because that's the type of mindset we have. We think white people are supposed to be in leadership position. Before you know it, they'll be running this town. You say, well, they may make it better. That's what the Africans said. And maybe just let them have it. Let's get out of this country, man. Maybe time to go. Have you see one thing we're not looking at? Have you ever heard? Am I freezing up? Not on mine. It must be just on that screen. Hey. The Have you ever heard some preach a sermon about the eagle stirs her nest? How the baby eagles, when it's time for them to start flying on their own, they won't get out there and fly. So the other mother eagle get in there and spread her wings and move all around, knock them out of the nest, so they can fall out and start flying. It may be like that with here in the United States with us, with the black people here in the United States. It may be time for us to get up out of here. But we just come to love this chaos, this familiar surrounding of the United States. No matter what they do to us, take our rights, give us rights, take them away. Give us rights, take them away. We try to build the economy, they bomb it, burn it down. Then now they're taking it all away through other means. And maybe Trump's stirring the nest. Get us up out of here. That's just something I'm giving you. Maybe Trump's stirring that nest. And we can't see it because we come to love the nest too much and figure we're not going to make it somewhere else. Because it's firing you because of DEI. Well, it's mostly white folks getting fired because of DEI. You're trying to say, unless you're a white male, you're not qualified. When statistics has showed that when a white woman or a black person runs a company, CEO or runs the company, it's more profitable than when the white male run it. Why? Because they have to earn their way. They're just not giving stuff like white males are. And let's not give them ammunition. Two female Secret Service agents guarding Barack Obama in a fist fight outside of his house. Two Secret Service agents, both of them female. I don't know what race they were. They were females. One of them I saw looked like she was white. I don't know what race the other one was. They're supposed to be guarding Barack Obama. He's in the house. They outside duking it out. Don't give them ammunition. Because what they're going to say, well, you haven't seen any male Secret Service agents fighting. You haven't seen the black males doing it either. But what is it with women? Women are doing so much fighting now. I mean, there's so much fighting. As soon as you get angry about something, you're fighting. You know why? You've taken on masculine qualities. And because you have that female emotion. That's why when you see a man who's mostly raised by women and have a lot of emotion, an emotional man, he does a lot of fighting. See, emotions and masculinity are not a good combination. It's just not a good combination. It's not meant for a man to be all emotional. Because one of his strongest emotions is anger. It's not meant for a woman to be masculine. And everyone's out of their natural order. And then we wonder why we're having problems. Get back in your natural order. Men be masculine, women feminine. And a feminine woman can get almost anything she wants from a man. And women know it because you gotta bet your eyes and get feminine when you want something. It's a soft power. Even women open the doors up for a feminine woman. You can just see it about her. We're all out of our natural order and how we should behave towards one another and around the world as for where we're at. Get those white folks out of Australia. Get them out of there. That belongs to the Aborigines. Well, they weren't doing it with the land. They did what they wanted to do with it. And they want to grow crops and you want to build and you want to build a factory. Both of you doing what you want to do with that land. Well, we developed it. Look, people don't have to live, every culture don't want to live like you. We want to spend our time making bombs and ruining the environment, thinking of ways to kill masses amount of people. Everyone don't want to do that. That land belongs to the Aborigines. You don't have any business there. You're polluting it. Africa belongs to the dark Africans, not all those light-skinned people. Saudi Arabia, you got to look at them and tell if they African or not. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Iran. No, I'm sorry, I'm keep saying Iran, not Iran. Egypt, Iraq, Israel, Libya. Those are all black nations. Those light-skinned people don't have any business there. Get them out. Don't let Trump build nothing there. Talking about building it in Gaza, that's in Africa. Don't let him build nothing there. And we're on our own. That's where we need to be, even here. Like the Africans, they say they're on their own. They're on their own because they don't need no European powers looking over them like they're little children. Stop letting yourself be treated like children. Come in and take your stuff and they get rich and you living poor. Build Europe back up with your resources. So our people don't have to stand on somebody else. We can't be rich unless you're poor. We don't do that. We can't feel important unless we make somebody else seem like they're nothing. We don't have to do that. The Africans taking back over their wealth, they don't have to make anybody else poor for them to be rich. But Europe gonna be missing some money. They've told Europe you're not getting nothing else from us. So they're gonna be missing some money. And they may try to start war. I hope the Africans get their militaries together. Bring in South Korea or Russia to help. Like I said, they're speaking every language in Africa. You tell the ones who didn't colonize them. The Africans aren't speaking German. They're not speaking Italian. They're not speaking Russian or Chinese. But they are speaking English, got French. I don't think Spain went in. Now Spain, you notice they're not speaking Spanish. Spain didn't go in. And robbed Africa. That I know of. Someone, they did, someone let me know. But I don't think Spain went in. But I just tied that in with just like the Africans allow people to take their stuff. Here in the United States, black people, we allow people to take our stuff. Let's come in and open up a business and we flock to it. And you see them in there jumping on a black person, the rest of they stand there laughing and filming. They shouldn't even have the nerve to come here and jump on a black person in a all black town. They should be afraid to do that. But they know the rest of you gonna go along with it. They need to have their butts ran up out of here. I don't care if the person was right or wrong. It's just they're disrespecting the entire community. And we don't have any business allowing them to do that. But we just don't have the courage to do that because they got guns up in there. You got guns for everybody else. Got guns for each other. Now all of a sudden you scared of guns? Come learn. Smack a black woman, a black man stand around and look. And that's one instance. I don't care if the black woman right or wrong. It's just the idea you're going to come up in a black neighborhood, slap a black woman right there in front of everybody. For you to even have the gall to do that. Let you know how much they think of us. And the black man trying to buddy around with them, get around them, see a pretty black woman, go, you like that? But he not going to let you say it about his woman. He keep her at home so you can even see her. Stop trying to pawn our women off on other men. You don't see a white man trying to pawn a white woman out on you, do you? I once had a white man ask me, where the pretty black girls at? I asked him, where the pretty white girls at? You should have saw how red he got. Because they don't think we value our people. They value their people. They think we don't value ours. And we don't. We need to start, but right now we don't. And so we better get ready. They didn't send some white people, deported them. So we better get ready for something. To leave for something. You ain't got to deport us. Give me $1 million, I'll leave. Or you MAGA people can donate $1 million to my GoFundMe. And I'll get up out of here. But I'm not leaving with less than $1 million. I'm not spending none of my own money to get up out of here. I got to raise $1 million, or the government give me $1 million. And the rest of us need to ask for it too. We need to ask for it also. Pay us our reparation. Give us $1 million apiece and we'll get up out of here. Now, I'm not, like as I said before, you all who don't want to do it, stay here and stick to the chaos. I don't fault you. But I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones who want to do it. Because too often, people want to get in on something that they don't want to do. We don't want to do it, just leave it alone, shut up and leave it alone. Because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones who want to. Because we don't have time to argue back and forth with you in comments. I just delete you off because we're not going to argue about this. Those who want to leave, let's find a way to leave and not broke. We're going to leave here rich. And if they can't do that, shut up about go back to Africa. If you can't do that, yep, shut up about go back to Africa about this is a Caucasian white nation. It can be. Give us our money. We can go. And you can stay here with the ones who want to stay here with you, continue to go through this. That's fine, if that's what they want to do. Because some people like chaos. They live like living in a chaotic situation. They love it. And they keep talking about Trump bringing up the stuff he's doing. I'm tired of hearing that. If you're not going to do anything about it, why keep talking about it? Well, okay, that's against the Constitution. It used to be a Constitution. There is no Constitution anymore. The courts can't even enforce anything against him. There is no legislative branch anymore. He's going to do what he wants to do, and everyone's going to allow him to do it. That's why I don't want to hear about this Trump stuff no more, about what he's doing. See, I talk about what he's doing and come to a solution with it. These people talk about what he's doing just to be talking. I got a solution. We can be ready for him to get up out of here. And I'm saying it that to keep you informed of what's going on. But I know it's on all these news, even the internet news. All they want to do is talk about what Trump did. But nothing's going to be done about it. I want to talk about what we're going to do. He did this today. He did that to do. It's illegal. Nothing's illegal in this country for him anymore. The Supreme Court said he has immunity, so nothing's illegal for him. He has blanketed immunity. He can do whatever he wants to do. The Constitution is null and void where he's concerned. And we may not even have another presidential election. And I'm just tired of this mess myself. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. But think about what I said. Set your GoFundMe if you want to get out of here. Set a goal of at least, and I say at least, $1 million. I got one. I was going to show it, but I forgot to put the program in. I'll show it next time. But if you can't raise $1 million and they talk about love it or leave it, go back to Africa, say, yeah, I'll go back. Give me the money, $1 million. Each black person, $1 million a piece who want to go. We'll get up out of here. So I want to thank you for tuning in to No More Water. Fire next time. You know what that water is? Black people have been pouring the water on this problem. But you're angry and white people, now they're going to put the fire. 'Cause they don't do that peaceful stuff like we do. They'll tear this place up. But let it be for them, though, not for us. Let's try to find an alternative. I think the eagle's stirring her nest for us in the United States to get up out of here. But we're too stubborn and want to stay in the nest because it's what we're familiar with. As I said, thank you for tuning in to No More Water. Bye next time. And I'm going to try to have a guest on with me next time, but they don't want to come on. They want me to talk about that little soft stuff. They're going to come after you. Well, got nothing to lose. They come, they just come. And they come up for whatever reason for me to sit here and talk water. I told you no more water. It's fire now. If they're afraid, be afraid, but don't try to make me afraid. Because I'm not. They see this girl talking about what, and you say they may take this from you. Well, what I got for them to take? You all won't send me nothing on Cash App. And if they do take it, so what? I've had plenty, I've had plenty, I've had little. Whatever my state, I'm content. I can sleep in a beautiful house in a tent. So how you gonna hurt me? Wherever my state, I'm content. I'm not saying I'm gonna leave it there, but I'm content. I pull myself back up, but I'm still content. Content don't mean you're not gonna work at doing better. It just means you're not gonna stress and cry about it, but do something about it. You people stop being so docile, so fickle when you're speaking, trying to please other folks. You can't please them. You talk nice, you can't please them. So bad, you can't please them. It ain't got nothing to do with how you dress. Talk about the men pants sagging, the women wearing all these weaves and leggings all around the place. Look, there was a time when we dressed in suits. The men wore suits to town. The women wore pretty dresses, all dressed up, hair, natural hair looking good. They were treated worse back then, when they were all dressed up, than the pants saggers and the leggings wearers now. They're walking around with bonnets. What you worry about it for? You don't like it, just don't you wear one. You tell these women what to wear. You may not like it, but you can't tell them what to wear. It's a lot of things women do put on. I don't like it. I just don't deal with that kind. I don't like tattoos on a woman. I just don't deal with one. But I can't tell them they can't put a tattoo on. That's their business. I just don't have to deal with it. That's why you don't see me on anybody friends with me on Facebook or any other social media. You don't see me on there putting up posts talking about women. Why women this? Why women that? I'm too old for that. I see people older than me doing it. Come on, you don't have it together by now. Let's grow up. You're not in adolescence. 56-year-old women tell me I want flowers and romance. Come on, you're not 20. You're not 19. You're 60. Romance is nothing but a game anyway. Men do that just to please the woman because he don't really want to do it. It's all for her anyway, not for him. And usually guys come with all that usually end up being the crazy ones. Because he do whatever it takes. You know, those guys come to you so crazy about it as soon as you met them. He came with all that romance. He ended up being the crazy one. Hey, you running down the road butt naked. The thing is, getting back to my subject, we we have to learn how to grow up and do things as an adult. See, the African nations, like they were in adolescence, just letting people take all this stuff. Now they're growing up like adults. And one by one, those nations are kicking those people out, and we need to kick these people out of our neighborhoods. Let our own people have these business. Down at that new apartment building used to be the Broadview Hotel. They got retail space down there. Now we're gonna see a bunch of Arabs and Asians down in that retail place. Treat them like they treat us. If we can't go into theirs, they shouldn't come into ours. We just condemn ourselves to things. We talk about our churches. If you're not a Christian, you don't believe in that, leave the folks alone. You ain't gotta make fun of their religion. Their religion is like their culture. If you got the African, a lot of people here have African culture. They want to talk against, they say, many of them are atheists. Want to talk against the Christians. Want to talk against, but you know one thing, I know the atheists don't talk against the Arabs. They don't talk against, not the Arabs. I know that the Asians don't talk, the atheists don't talk against Muslims. They only talk against Christianity. If you're not a Christian, leave it alone. You don't believe in it? Leave the folks alone. Let them practice what they want to. You talking about African cultures? There's 1,000 African cultures over in Africa. Which one are you talking about? If you're not a Muslim, leave the Muslims alone. Let them practice their religion how they want to. And even the Christians get out online, going to people talking against your church, your pastor. Why are you there? If you notice, they get on there, come go to people who don't even go to church. Oh, my pastor is my pastor. Why are you there? I mean, people worry about the preacher taking their money. Most of these churches don't have no money for the preacher to take. A lot of times the preacher going into his own pocket. Keep the church afloat. Because you putting nickels and quarters and dimes in those tithe envelopes. Leave the church alone. You don't believe? Just don't believe. Go on about your business. But we tie our own down for the world, the rest of the world to see. We cause our own destruction of things. All on social media, celebrities calling each other out. So what? Don't nobody, and people eating that stuff up on social media. I don't care how this trial go for Diddy, one way or the other. Because most of the people who are most of the witnesses and the people who were speaking against him was complicit. They don't have clean hands themselves. So I don't care how it go either way. If they find them guilty, fine. If they don't, that's fine too. It didn't make y'all come to those freak offs. People been to the freak off, been to multiple freak offs. Talking like as though they was coerced to come. He made them come. And when I was there, they did this to me. They did that to me. But they did it last time and the time before that too. But you still went back. So that's why it's a hard case. Because of the people who were complicit. And that old woman, she helped plan some. She admitted that she helped plan some of the freak offs. Collected the money. They had Even had a text she made, when is the next freak off? That sound like somebody who was made to come to freak off? Tell me he had people pee on me. They peed on you the other time. You came back, we had came to another one. She had sex 4 or 5 men. You just freaky like that. You had sex with multiple men the other time. You came back again. Next one is the next one. So that's why I say I don't care. Those are some. If you notice, I don't get off into celebrities much because they live entirely different from the average people. An entirely different lifestyle. Like those freak offs and the stuff Bill Cosby did and R. Kelly did. That sound crazy to you and I. But to the people on that level, it's normal. It's normal. Why you think a grown man can have a 13-year-old girl in his house all night having sex with her, and her people don't know it? He paid them to do that. They say people come out, or I said this the other time, but I'm saying it again. They leave the kid leaving North Kelly house, a little girl, who they come out and give her, give the people an envelope full of money. They sold their daughter. That's sex trafficking. I don't know why they didn't get them for that in the case of R. Kelly. The parents for sex trafficking. Don't nobody be around your children like that. What grown man be around your 13-year-old daughter and you don't know it? 14-year-old daughter, you don't know it. Even 16-year-old daughter, and you don't know it. So we got to stop playing games. I'm talking about black folk. We play too many games. We got to cut it out. We know stuff be going on. Stop trying to act like you don't know. And when I say black folk, I'm talking about you Africans too. You play too many games. And you're playing games even with your liberation now. Trying to act like somebody a messiah. That man's no messiah. He's there to come to do a job. To get you restored back to where you should be. Because to talk about a Messiah, you have to sit and wait and take all kind of mess that come your way. If you waiting on the Messiah, that what y'all was doing? Took all these centuries waiting on the Messiah? When you should have been kicking them folks' butt up out of there centuries ago and shouldn't have let them come. Because people who wait on the Messiah many times get stagnant, like you did in Africa. You living in huts while they living good over in Paris and everywhere, and we offer your money, offer your riches. I'm glad you're right. But those cities over there I see in Africa, modern cities, they look really good. But you wanted to spread to more than just the cities. These people was getting your money while you sitting around waiting on a Messiah. There's no more Messiahs coming. So quit looking. There's no more Messiahs coming. You got to put in the work. If you sit around and wait on a Messiah, you're going to let people come and take all your stuff, be around here another 600 years waiting on the Messiah. But when you put in the work yourself, you can take your stuff right now, which is what seemed to be beginning to go on in Africa. That's what's beginning to go on there. They're taking their stuff. And other nations want to get mad at them, want to try to, and like they want to try to start proxy wars with them through Chad. That's what they're doing. Because they're taking their stuff and doing what they want to do with it. You take your stuff and do what you want to do with it. The United States is behind it too. Uganda told them they're not getting no more uranium. Told the United States that. Get it somewhere else. I said I was getting ready to leave, but I just throw that in. Sometimes I talk about multiple subjects. But you see, I tie them all back in together. And like I say, when it comes to these things about our people, I'm not gonna be arguing back and forth with somebody about us leaving here with the GoFundMe and all. Like I said, I'm talking to the ones who want to go. You want to stay here, stay out of our business. It's not for you. With that, I'm gonna say good night, and I want to thank you for tuning in to No More Water. Fire next time, but even if I'm not live, you can still hit my cash out, afterwards. So I want to keep doing more and more podcasts so people get used to me and build my audience back up like I used to have. So thank you for tuning in to No More Water. Fire next time, and tell you what, we'll see you next time.